If you don't already know Adam, Adam is on our podcast, Full Dive Gaming. Adam's one of the other hosts that's been with me there from the beginning. Adam is typically a Valve Index user. You've never played with any Quest.
I have not.
No.
Not any Oculus product at all.
Oh, wow. Okay, I didn't know that, actually.
Yeah, so this is like the entire half of the VR world that I'm just going to experience for the first time here. Okay, awesome. Okay, I gotta say, first thing, the hand tracking is amazing. That is one of the coolest things. So what is this game, Jay? What am I trying out here?
So this is Hand Physics Lab. I actually haven't played it that much, but it lets you try all kinds of weird different hand tracking things.
I'm through the menus, it's finally letting me play. So let's go to the puzzles. Well, I mean, it really eases you into it. The first level is literally called Press the Button. Okay, it's literally just a table, a single red button that just says push. And let's push it. And I won the level. You know, this might be the easiest game I've ever played. All right, now it's giving me all sorts of buttons. Oh, well, now I had to push all 3 buttons. I gotta say though, like the initial shock of just being able to like not use controllers instead of just using your hand. Like, you got 3 apples here. And I can actually juggle like in real life. Let's see if I can do it. And nope, that did not work.
I'm surprised it's shocking as much as you use a Valve Index. Doesn't that have some kind of like finger track? Can't you do stuff like this on it?
It does have finger tracking, but the difference is like, it's literally just my hands. Like that's all I have to do. And so it's kind of this weird thing where it gives you that much more freedom as to just using my own body, and it really plays into that Quest, this idea of like, let's take it anywhere. I gotta say also, on the Quest 2, it looks really good.
Yeah.
I know I'm kind of spoiled with the Index and everything, but with the Quest 2, being able just to be completely wire-free, it looks real good. There's definitely some ways in which you can tell that it's maybe hand tracking still a little bit in the works. It seemed really smooth until I needed to finger paint.
Well, and what we found, it can change your experience based on your lighting. We have a lot of lights on in here right now to light him and to make it easier to see what's going on because the lighting in this place sucks. Even people's skin tone can make a big difference. It says in this one, make sure your contrast. So if your like skin was close to the carpet or the floor, it would struggle. So it's like saying make it a high contrast if you can. So have some sort of rug that's gonna really show the hands up well. So yeah, it's interesting because it's only using a few cameras to see what he's doing.
Yeah, it's really cool how, you know, it can show me touching each of my fingers individually. Like, it's really good. I wonder if I can like hide my hand. Yeah, you see, you can definitely tell it's with the cameras because I can like hide my hand and it just freaks out.
So what's it having you do now?
Well, now I just get this. It's a press the button puzzle, except now the buttons are spinning around in a sphere. Oh, there's this little like skeleton figurine in front of me and I have to like play doll with it and put it into position. And I have to like stretch its arms into position. It's kind of weird. This game's kind of interesting where the fingers that you're moving actually matter a lot. If you wanted to go back to the menu, you hold your thumb and your middle finger together, and that's how you activate the menu. And so what fingers you're doing, that the hand tracking itself and all the individual fingers is a really big part of the game. It's really cool.
It's amazing that something like this, because people think of the Quest as, you know, this cheap thing. Like, it's amazing that it can still be this impressive due to one little feature that it has versus, you know, what people still think is the best PC headset there is.
Oh, don't get me wrong, I'm still missing my Index.
Oh yeah.
I'm quite impressed by the hand tracking. And this is something that is only really possible on the Quest headsets because of the inside-out tracking.
What are you doing now?
I'm pushing buttons. You have to push them in a particular order, but using my fingers is kind of finicky, so I'm just like straight hammering them with my whole fist.
What kind of wire management do you have at home?
Awful wire management.
It just hangs down.
Yeah, it's just under the floor.
And so are you noticing that there's just no wire? How does that feel?
It's interesting, especially with the Index. You always feel like that you're wired into the matrix, right? Like there's this huge nozzle that's hooked into the back of your head. I feel like I can just keep spinning and never get it tangled around my feet. Because that's always the fear, right? You can only spin around like a couple of times and then you have to kind of like do this frog step over your coil of wires on the ground now. You don't get that anymore. Now, how much is this going to compare to like the standard Quest experience rather than your Frankenquest that you have here?
Well, really the only thing you're feeling differently is the head strap, which is much more comfortable, and the headphones are giving you better audio.
Okay.
It's putting it right into your ears.
And I will say, like with your setup that you have here, it is rather comfortable.
Yeah, that's the key. I didn't turn the fan on because I didn't think it, but if your face starts to get a little moist, I can turn the fan on and it'll blow air through and keep your face dry and happy. Tell me about the controllers. How do they feel in your hands?
I mean, it's sort of a hard comparison because I'm really used to the index controllers at this point. They're comfortable. Like the shape of the controller itself as it fits into my hand is really comfortable. I gotta say, with the tracking ring on top, I feel like that my thumbs are constantly, it feels like they're in a cage, right? Where I keep wanting to like move them off to the side and I can't because of the tracking ring. All right, I really like this song. We're playing on hard.
How's that wireless freedom?
It feels real nice. I feel like that I'm able to move around so much smoother without the wire on the back of my face. It's definitely a trade-off. There's a lot of freedom and it looks really good, but the game also feels slightly different than what I'm expecting because I'm really used to that index high fidelity, lots of graphics. Yeah, you definitely get a lot more freedom.
Something about just knowing there's no wire really enables you to just go for it. So I guess the verdict would, or the big question everyone would be asking is, you have a Valve Index, is there any reason at its price point to go get a Quest 2 as well?
100% yes. 100% yes. I mean, well, let's put it this way. We are halfway across the country, and I'm still able to play my favorite VR game, one of my favorite VR games. And the reason we're able to do that is because I don't need to lug my entire, 50-pound gaming PC out to Texas in order to do so. So is there a spot for the Quest 2? 100%.
Yeah, it really enables you to just like quickly throw something on and be in. And some people have their PC set up that way, but for a lot of us, it's a process to get into PC VR every time, where with the Quest, you put it on and it's like a switch. 2 seconds later, you're gaming. It's a big difference. So it is really cool. Yeah. Are you gonna get one now?
We'll see, but I'm thinking the answer is yes.
So what are your last reservations? What's kind of keeping you on the fence?
It's gotta be that Facebook. That Facebook, honestly, if it wasn't for Facebook, this would be absolutely no-brainer. Recommend to literally every single person on the market, get a Quest 2. It's just that one Facebook thing, and it's just one thing, but it's not a little thing. Would you pay
the $800 to get the non-Facebook one? Have you heard about that?
I have not.
They said they would sell them not needing Facebook, but they're $800 if you get them that way. Well, hey, I'm glad you got to test it out. It's really awesome. The Quest 2 is cool. Obviously, you have to have a Facebook account though, which is horrible. It's quick VR anywhere on the go. And for a lot of people, it's becoming their main headset. It's actually become the top one on Steam even, by far. Yes. Because it's so cheap and Valve Indexes are so hard to get. Well, hey, thank you so much for hanging out with us today, and we will see you in another reality. Boom.